Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to have everyone go ahead and sign in, give your name, your organization. We'll start promptly at 2 o'clock in a minute or so, but we really appreciate you taking the time to join us, our friends, our colleagues, our community volunteers. Thank you for being here. We have a packed agenda, so we will be moving along, but always have time for questions and to share more information. So please sign in and we will be on board for 2 o'clock. Thank you. I see you, Pamela. So greetings. You're up first. Great.
Hi there. Hi. So my name is Pam Bernhardt, and I am the Special Projects Supervisor here at Help of Southern Nevada. And thank you very much for allowing me to come in to the meeting and share with you some new programs that we have.
Okay.
So
we're going to start in a minute when we have everybody on board, but I'm glad you're raring to go.
I'm ready to go.
Keep it interesting. So, but thank you. Just going to wait just to give people transition time as always.
Great.
So just wanted to say hi and glad to see you.
Yeah, thank you for the invite.
Absolutely. And we'll have another guest, I see, who has joined us as well. Ms. Isla Young. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start. I have 201, if that's okay with everyone. If you want to come on camera or not, please know that we welcome you. We're very happy that you're joining us. Introduce yourself, share our journey, and please put in the request for closed captioning located at the bottom of your Zoom screen. And so we are going to get started with Ms. Pamela Bernhardt from Help of Southern Nevada. And we have a second presenter, Isla Young, from Nevada Governor's Office of Science, Innovation, and Technology. And we're going to get a lot of information, a lot of opportunities, and open for questions at the end. So I want to welcome you, Ms. Pamela. In terms of the program you're going to present today is Nevada Youth First program. The Nevada Youth First program can help you and people you know get a career start in early childhood education. So we're excited to hear what you have to offer. As we continue the call, please add anything to the chat. I'll have Jasmine and Janet take care of the chat box, and then also continue to put your information in as we share it after the call. So without much to do, we're going to start with you, Ms. Pamela, and thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I'm very excited to share the program called Nevada Youth First. So what Nevada Youth First program is, it's a way to fast track people who are interested in the career path of early childhood development and childcare. As people may or may not know, Nevada is very short on daycare providers, childcare providers in our state. So this came from the governor's office as a way to incentivize people, help them get, fast track them to get all the education and background checks that they need to, so they can become a childcare provider. So what our program does with NYF, Nevada Youth First, is we recruit people who are interested in the career field. We partner with Spiral Up program from UNR Extension that teaches the class in an interactive way, the Nevada Registry classes that are usually online, but this will be in a classroom cohort. And so what we do is provide any sort of, we help remove any sort of barrier that is preventing people from getting into the workforce. And in this case specifically, Nevada Youth First, the career coach. So for example, they need, if you have to have a laptop to take the classes. So if we have somebody that's in the field that is interested in this field, but they don't have a laptop to take the classes, then we can provide wraparound supportive services to get them the laptop and the Wi-Fi connection that they would need to take the classes through the registry. So we also help with, getting the background checks done, getting the CPR classes taken care of. So it's a 6-week cohort that they do for Spiral Up. And then we also work with the providers and the daycare providers and the daycare centers that are hiring. And then we also do job placement. So that's the program. So what's interesting about this program is usually programs are income. You have to, usually they're geared towards people who are low to moderate income to have the wraparound supportive services. This program, there's no income restrictions. The age, you have to be at least 16 and older, and you have to be able to be employed in the United States. So this is great if there are people who are retired that want to supplement their income and wanted to do career childhood daycare centers seasonally, like in the summer, or if they wanted to do it part-time to supplement their income. So there's no age restriction on that. So this is the first kind of government program that there's not that many restrictions on. So it's pretty exciting to get people into that career field. So if anybody's interested, or they have somebody that is interested, I've dropped my email in the chat and I provided the flyer. So that's how you would get a hold of me.
So we'll open it up. I had one question that came to mind. Is a GED or high school diploma required or not?
No, they just need to be, no, it's not required. The nice thing about this NIF funding as well is that we can help with the goal is to obtain their certification, their child development certification. And then if they wanted to go on and further their education, then we would do what they, if they needed a GED to further their education, we would help do that. But then there's training dollars to do higher education, associate's degree, bachelor's degree in early childhood ed.
Thank you. I'm going to open it up. Does anyone else have any questions how this program could serve your clientele, how neighbors, friends, how can we get the word out? Because this is a valuable on-the-job training plus employment. So often our training programs do not move towards the employment side. So this is a great connector. Any questions? Anybody that needs more information? Again, the flyer's out there. Is it in English and Spanish by chance?
I provided the one that's in English. If you need a Spanish version, I can get that out to you. So yeah, so what's great about this too is if we also partner, there's lots of state dollars out there right now to encourage people to open up their own childcare facility because there is such a need and there is such a shortage in our state. There's special funding, whether you wanted to do your own in-home daycare situation or you wanted to go and build a brick and mortar one that's not, a home type setting. Right. So once people get out of the training and that's something that they want to do, then we would link them with the state funding to help them supplement that to get their business off the ground.
Thank you. I'm going to depend on Jasmine. Is there anything in the chat or anyone have their hands up that we need to address at this time?
It looks like we do have a question from Daniela Lopez. Is there a requirement on age? And I'm not sure if this was answered already.
Yeah, so you just have to be 16 for like the summer programs. So we partner with like the Boys and Girls Club and the different summer programs. I see a question come up. Is this available to all of Nevada? Yes. So this is very unique that we here in Las Vegas, we are actually doing the NIF program throughout the entire state, and we're servicing the entire state of Nevada. So we're partnering with all of the daycare providers, and this is open up to anybody that's a Nevada resident. So we have currently right now each cohort, so we are is about 6 weeks. So we're 3 weeks into our second cohort with the UNR Spiral Up program. The next cohort will start in May. So if anybody was interested and wanted to do this and sign up today, they would be in the next cohort that starts next month in May, and then that goes for 6 weeks, and then we start a new cohort. So I've failed to mention the incentives. The incentives to do the cohort is to get you hired. Once we get you hired, we'll give you $500 per month for 3 months as long as you're employed in the industry of childcare. So it's an additional $500 stipend. And then if you have 4 months of continuous employment, then you get $1,000 bonus. So if you do the childcare industry and you're in the childcare in a licensed child care facility, then you can have $2,500 worth of incentive. That's a stipend that's on top of your salary. So that's a little incentive to get people into this field.
Thank you. Another question that came up is about transportation. And when they register for the program, is there any stipends or any information about getting to the classes, if there are childcare needs, if there are transportation needs to enroll in the class? Are you able to help with that?
Yeah, so we are all about barrier removal. So if they need a gas card to get gas, if they have their own vehicle and they need gasoline in the vehicle to get it to go where it needs to go, then they're eligible to receive a gas voucher. If they don't have their own private transportation, then we can do bus passes. So this complements nicely with what we're already doing in the rest of our workforce development. So we were really able to provide that wraparound supportive services. We also partner with Project Neon and different funding through the Urban League. So if you need childcare, there's childcare dollars out there to have your children watched. That's what's so kind of unique about this profession is a lot of times, you can bring your kids to work, you can bring your kids to the daycare facility, and they offer free or reduced tuition to your children while you work there. So you would be matched with a career coach, and any sort of barrier that comes up while you're meeting with your career coach, we help people help themselves, and we brainstorm to figure out what we can do to remove that barrier.
Thank you. Jasmine, any other questions or hands I'm not seeing?
I think Annie Walters has her hand up. Go ahead, Annie. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Pam, so I have a follow-up question with it's available to all of Nevada. What if it's more like an individual? They're not really looking to start a career, but what if to help out family members and they want to be the caretaker, but take advantage of the professional side of it and do what they do, but possibly expand from that point on, but really start with family first, and they're being paid by family members, let's say. Is that
Absolutely.
something you guys would support?
So they could definitely sign on and take advantage of the Spiral Up classes through UNR. As far as the stipend at the end, that's tied to being employed by a licensed childcare facility. So they would get the education piece, the wraparound supportive piece, but they wouldn't necessarily be eligible to receive the stipend if they weren't working in a licensed facility.
That's awesome still.
Yeah, we think so.
All righty, thank you. And it is really a need in our state, it's a need across the country. Quality education, if it comes through the teacher, the classroom instruction, it trickles into the home and the community. So it's a win-win for everybody. And we're really glad that we have this program in Nevada. So I want to close out that portion. Again, we'll have questions at the end if you think of any, or put them in the chat box. And I'd like to introduce Miss Isla Young. I saw her, and what she is representing, there you are, moving around. you're representing the Governor's Office of Science, Innovation, Technology with a lot of grand launches coming on, and we'll have lots of information to attach after our follow-up to this call. So Isla, please lead us, tell us what's out there, and glad to have you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dolores. I appreciate the opportunity to share today. I was going to ask you, can I put a PowerPoint up, or should I just keep it to speaking?
Jasmine?
Hi, Isla, you could definitely share. You could definitely screen share. You'll have the capability to at the bottom of your screen.
Okay, thank you.
While Isla's setting it up, I'll just say a little bit about the background. In life, we all need internet without limits, without barriers. And so this is a project around digital equity. There are many layers to it, and a long-term plan for reliable internet and access to affordable technology and training and devices. So I see Isla has it all set up. So please share where we're at, where we're going, and thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so you can see it. Wonderful.
Yes.
So as Dolores mentioned, I'm with the Governor's Office of Science, Innovation, and Technology. We go by OSIT because it's such a mouthful. And I am going to be talking about digital equity today. The broader picture, just for everyone's foundational knowledge, is there is a lot of funding that is becoming available specifically for broadband infrastructure. And as all of you know, I know especially this group that is together, you know that COVID really shined a light on how disconnected folks are, and the reality of not having access to the internet, how it impacts your life. And so what is happening in Nevada right now is the state's OSIT office, which is also focused on STEM, broadband, and digital equity, is moving full steam ahead to get our entire state connected. So a lot of folks that live in Las Vegas are not aware of how there is quite a few communities still in Nevada that do not have access or have poor connectivity. So we are in the process right now of developing a statewide plan, both for the broadband infrastructure and a statewide plan for the digital equity for our state. So I've been brought on to help with this piece. It is incredibly important that we're making sure Nevadans not only have access to the internet, but the equal piece of that is, do they have access? Can they afford the internet access? Do they have access to a device? And then do they have the digital skills they need to be successful young persons, and also just have an amazing quality of life? So the vision for us and what we're working towards at the moment is making sure every Nevadan has reliable and affordable broadband internet service, has an affordable device, the technical support that they need to be successful, digital skills training, and cybersecurity awareness and online privacy, which is really bubbling up as a huge issue. So that's the umbrella of the work that we're doing. I'm going to really quickly go through and just help you folks understand the various pieces and how I'm hopeful that you might be a partner in this with the work that we're doing. So just one thing I wanted to make sure everyone is aware of, these are the covered populations that we are focused on in this work. And I know in the nonprofit space, these are the folks that you folks work with the most. They are the underrepresented. They are folks that traditionally do not engage. They're folks that really need that extra love and hand-holding to make sure that they are aware of the resources available and how we might bring those to their table so that they can empower themselves to be successful folks. So we've got members of ethnic minority groups, our English language learners, folks that are low-income homes, our veterans, our aging individuals, folks over 60. Folks that live in the rural areas is also a really huge piece, and incarcerated or formerly incarcerated individuals. So these are the folks that we're really looking at, making sure that their voice is included in the state plan that we are shaping, and that we are keeping in mind their individual needs, their individual barriers that they deal with on a day-to-day basis, and how we might be as thoughtful as possible in making sure that what we do develop helps them the most. Real quick, I just wanted to make sure you're aware that digital equity basically impacts every area of our lives. So I'm not going to go through each one of these, but I did want to just put it on your radar that this is interwoven into every aspect of life, incredibly important. And each of these circles here will be built into the plan to make sure that they're addressed, and we can show how everything is so intertwined and interwoven and really connected. We are in the process of this state digital equity planning. At the moment, I'm in Tonopah right now. I have been traveling across Northern Nevada this entire week. I have the rest of our OSIT team is here. Mr. Brian Mitchell is the director of the OSIT office. We are spending time in all 17 counties throughout the state and making sure that we're engaging and hearing from each county. So we're in full-blown community engagement, as you can see here. Once we're done with that, that will be the entire month of April. We're on the road. So we come back tonight, and we'll be right back at it next Monday. But the reason is it's so incredibly important to go to the people and to go to their communities and to actually take the time to hear from them, as opposed to trying to guess what they need or guess what would be best. We're asking local folks, the local communities, this is locally driven. How can we shape and provide things that will be most meaningful to you? Once we finish with this engagement, we'll be capturing all the data, doing an analysis of it, and then coming up with our plan. That plan will then be sharing for public comment, and really hopeful that folks will actually read it and help us make sure we didn't miss anything, and make sure we're on point here to have the most impact throughout Nevada. As I mentioned, we are on the road. Next week, the next 2 weeks, we'll continue being on the road. And for the folks, Dolores, I'm not even sure, for the folks that are on, is this Southern Nevada based on this call?
Majority, yes, majority.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I wanted to just personally invite all of you to come and join us on the 27th of April. We'll be having a listening session in Clark County. We would be so thankful if you would come, and more importantly, bring some of your colleagues and the folks that you work with, and maybe possibly some of the your program participants, so that we can hear straight from them. The point of this gathering is to understand the community's needs, to understand some of the barriers folks are facing, and also what are the assets that exist in Clark County already. There is no interest on OSIT's part to create a bunch of new programs. Our interest is to understand what you folks are doing, what programs of excellence already exist, and once we have that, we're going to go ahead and provide grants to the folks that fit into those categories of providing amazing programming, so that you can either scale up what you're doing or maybe expand into some areas that you'd like to do but haven't had the opportunity. So on the 27th, we'd love for you to come. All of this information that we're capturing will go into the state plan. I think I failed to mention, once that state plan is submitted to the federal government, that will be releasing formula earmarked dollars, considerable amounts of money that will come to Nevada, that we were hopeful that each of you will apply for. And we'll be having some follow on there to make sure that organizations have the capacity to take advantage of this funding and implement and really make a difference. So please know you're invited. We'll have more information out about this, but it's an exciting time to truly hear from community. So as I mentioned, we are visiting all 17 counties. There's 2 surveys that I'm very hopeful. Real quickly, I want to share with you. We have our digital equity ecosystem mapping tool, and each of you would be the folks that we would want to fill this out. This is designed for our community-based organizations, our anchor organizations, our libraries, our educational systems, folks that are engaging with with the covered populations that you saw earlier. We're really trying to understand what types of programs you're offering, who you're touching, who you're working with, how monies are flowing. And all of this information will give us a really good foundational understanding of what is taking place throughout the state, and then also help us understand where gaps might exist and how might we fill those gaps to have the best possible outcome for the state. So that is already active and up, and I will be sharing that. Miss Janet is so kind. That will be shared out to all of you, and Dolores is so kind to help us with that. If you could take 10 to 15 minutes to fill that out for us, that will then really help us make sure the money is flowing to the organizations that are doing the work. The second survey that is available now is the Nevada Community Survey. This is for everyone in Nevada to understand how they're using the internet. Do they have access to the internet? Do they have devices, and do they have digital skills, or what might we consider offering to help with that? There's nothing worse than asking folks to take internet survey if they don't have internet. So I'm mindful of that. So if there's anyone on this call that would like paper versions of the survey, we are more than happy to provide that to make it as easy as possible for you. So finally, we're going to take all this information, get that plan into the federal government, and that will be a 5-year implementation once those grant dollars are released. So I am so grateful for the time, Dolores. I hope I didn't go over time,
Not at all.
and happy to answer any questions folks might have.
I'm going to add a couple of things that, and as we have any questions, I'll turn it back over to Jasmine. So a couple of things I love about this project, having lived here 38 years and seen the launch of 211 and the launch of WebIZ and a lot of programs. This is the first time that I recall that the government and the state is asking for input before they do their state plan. So we have the horse before the cart. Hallelujah, first time. And so your information is vital at every level. If you have your internet needs met, we need to know that. It's not just, we need to know the entire state of Nevada, how we can grow in a 5-year plan. So this isn't a one-time pony, one-time hit. The second part that is always of interest, and United Way loves exposing grant opportunities, there'll be $18 to $20 million available in grants as this rolls out. That is a big number for us locally, not locally, but for the state. That's a good number for us to plan on how to collaborate and how to make it sustainable. After the money does go away, we all want to see the work continue at its finest. And the third part of this is we're really seeking through these community meetings and through email and any correspondence, we really are seeking people with lived experience. And so often, like I referred to, if you don't have a computer, how do you fill out a survey about computer needs or digital equity? So if you have events, if you have policy councils or parent councils or any events planned within April and the beginning of May, because our cut date, we want it to be around the 10th of May to get all the straggling information in to craft the plan. It would really be fantastic if you just had the clientele or you have an enrollment process, just have this 10-minute survey paper, English and Spanish, that your client can be filling out while you're doing your side of the paperwork to enroll people in other programs. So we really want this to be interactive. The event that is over at CSN is on the 27th, 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock. I think at some point an agenda can go out, but it's really to be a listening tour. The group is, the team and community members are really here to share. And so bring, like Isla said, bring guests, bring neighborhood, if there's things in the neighborhood that would benefit, clusters, hubs where computer access would be helpful for training. Please participate. We're not asked often to participate in a planning grant. So thank you, Office of OSET and Brian and all the team for giving us this opportunity. So Jasmine, do you see any hands or questions that we could address?
Does anybody have any questions before we move on? As far as I can see, it looks like we're good to go, Dolores. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Isla, for joining us.
Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Thank you. So we're going to go into community updates, of which we have a lot. And again, even if you're not already listed, we're happy to have you join after we get through these updates. So there are going to be flyers that will be attached. We always ask for your resources and programs to be sent to the website that's in the agenda. And as a friendly reminder, that this is really a call to action if you need it, and about sharing resources, programs, and events. So the first one, Nevada State Treasurer's Office Unclaimed Property Reminder. The state office has a searchable database for unclaimed property and missing money. There are many nonprofit organizations that are listed in this database. Please visit, and there's a link there if your organization has unclaimed property or money currently held by the state treasurer's office. So I'm sure someone on staff could find the time to do that. The next one, we have what's called a CEO exchange, which is the CEOs from some of the larger nonprofits in town, and they get together to really cross-reference, cross-pollinate on how to collaborate at the top level. And so the CEO exchange is welcoming to the Las Vegas Valley the nonprofit community hiring event series called Work with a Purpose. 4 times per year, the CEO exchange will gather Las Vegas Valley leading community organizations to offer career seekers meaningful employment opportunities. People who are interested in working with purpose, serving the community, and helping Southern Nevada thrive are engaged to attend. Please come, please participate, and learn about career opportunities in major nonprofit organizations. Again, there's a link there for more information about Work with Purpose. Interested parties, there's contact Chloe Riera. And we again will pause if Chloe or anyone wants to add any information to that particular event.
Hi, Dolores. Hi, everyone. Thank
There
you
you
so
are.
much. Yes,
Hi,
thank you for
Chloe.
making that announcement.
Yes.
Just to share that our next hiring event is coming up on April 29th, and we still have 5 open spots. So if you would like to join us, I'll put my email in the chat. We offer lunch to our HR professionals who come and spend a Saturday with us. We just really want folks to be able to find a fulfilling career in all of your organizations. So thank you so much for announcing that, Dolores.
Fantastic. Do we see any hands at the moment? I don't, but Jasmine will, oh, I see one. Okay. So then our next one is Price Recreation Center Neighborhood Partnership. This is a large health service resource fair at the center on Saturday, April the 15th from 10 to 2. The mission continues as a plan is to adopt this hugely underserved neighborhood and work in collaboration with neighborhood leaders, medical, social service, and legal resources with the goal of assessing the most pressing health needs and finding ways to deliver primary care, referrals, and information on a regular basis to those who are uninsured. This is important because we have these yearly or annual, biannual events with the goal of doing these quarterly. It gives people a chance to mark it on their calendars and track when they can participate and when they can invite people that they know they're serving and that have greater needs than our organization can serve. So invite anyone who can supply services or information to register. And there again is a link, active link, and the information is to Laura Cully. Laura, you on the call today and want to add anything? Okay, moving on. Citizenship classes that are by the City of Las Vegas. The City of Las Vegas currently is offering citizen classes Monday through Wednesday and Saturday. Learn the various functions and branches of the U.S. government, Nevada government, and other critical information for citizenship classes. Classes will be taught in English and Spanish. And again, there's an information link to enroll, and you can stop by in person at Stupak Community Center, 251 West Boston Avenue. So centrally located in the heart of great need downtown, and we really look forward to people participating. Again, the next project is Parenting Project Community Schedule, which has been done for years. I've known about it for at least 30 years at Clark County Department of Family Services. And the best gift parents can give their children is a positive, nurturing parent, as a leader, as a friend, as the child's first teacher. The Clark County Department of Family Services currently has a parenting project schedule of programs for parents of infants and parents of parents of teens. That's a big, wide gamut. So please look into this. They are fantastic classes participated and taught over the years. The programs consist of many seminars and workshops. For more information on the schedule and to register, there is a call number that we will be sharing again. And then our next one, it's All in a Day's Play at East Las Vegas Library. This year get together is called It's All in a Day's Play and has interactive games with a focus on resources and help for our communities with children and families that are in greatest need. The invitation is to take fun in the Fun Fest at East Las Vegas Library, and I'll add they'll have a petting zoo, face painting, an art studio, raffle prizes, and lots more. Don't ever forget to get your library card. That's an important part of your life, and it's a great resource in our community. Please fill out the Google form. Again, there's a link there. If you're interested, it's on April 22nd. Make it a special day for the little ones and for the family and getting out in the community. If you'd like it to table at that event, please plan to have early childhood activities available at your table and consider a raffle prize to support the families and children in attendance. And there is a link to register. And then as we continue with our last community update, here with you today is our amazing Vice President of External Affairs, Janet Quintero, who will share our exciting upcoming Nonprofit and Philanthropy Day in Carson City. Thank you, Ms. Janet.
Thank you, Dolores, for that introduction. I feel like a star. So thank you everyone for being here today. I'm here to share about the Nonprofit and Philanthropy Day that we're hosting along with Moonridge Group and the CEO Exchange in Carson City, Thursday, April 20th. I hope you can join us. I know that a lot of you have already registered. We have a really great program for you all. We'll be featuring remarks from Treasurer Conine. We have a meet and greet with the governor. So again, I hope you can join us in this day to really show the partnership of nonprofits and philanthropy leaders and take that first step. I think a lot of you also joined us for the Connecting Candidates Open Forum. So I think this is the next step in engaging with our elected officials, our decision makers, and really letting them know what we're hearing on the ground. So thank you. If you're interested, Jasmine shared the information here in the chat box, and I hope I see you there. Thank you.
Thank you. And it's a good time to let your elected official know if you're in their district. If your nonprofit is in their district, they need to know, and they need to stay in touch and you be top of mind for them. They need to serve their constituents, and we need to get the word out that we are doing well and we are working together. It works in DC, it works up in Carson City. So please participate. I want to give us some time with Open Forum. And again, I know that we need to have some sharing of anything else that we didn't get on the agenda, and we look forward to answering any questions that are coming up in the chat. So I'll have Jasmine, I'm looking at Jasmine, let us know who needs to have a question answered or what we need to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Dolores. And thank you, everybody. We're going to start our open forum. So if anybody would like to share about any programs, resources, events, or if you have any questions that you would like to propose to our MPOs on this call, please raise your hand, but I will start it off with Megan, our Director of Evaluations and Monitoring, who has a very exciting event to share. Go ahead, Megan.
Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you, Dolores, for hosting today's NPO call. And hello, everybody on today's call. I am here to announce our exciting upcoming Golf United event at the Revere Golf Course located in Henderson, Nevada, which will take place next May 11th, next month in May. And at this time, we would like to extend an invitation to all nonprofits in our community. If you would like to sponsor a hole, which would include having your logo at the tee box, as well as a tent, some chairs, a table, and the ability for you to meet all of the players as they come around during the tournament, as well as join us for the luncheon shortly after the tournament ends. We are offering a nonprofit hole sponsorship rate of $100. You can find more information and how to sign up as an NPO sponsor at uwsn.org/golf. And we'll put that in the chat and the follow-up email that comes after this meeting. We look forward to hosting this event, seeing all of the great donors and players coming out that support our community. And if you'd like to join in on this event with us, please either reach out to myself or purchase your sponsorship at the golf webpage. Thank you for your time and have a great day. Thank you, Jasmine.
Thank you so much, Megan. And I will go ahead and pass it over to Mayita. I hope I pronounced your name right.
Yes, you did. Thank you, Jasmine. Mayita. I am with the Nevada Governor's Office of Federal Assistance. Hi. I just wanted to provide a quick update. We just completed our training on the Nevada Grant Matching Program. I hope everyone was able to participate. If not, we wanted to let you know that the training with additional resources will be shared on our website early next week. So please visit to get access to that. I wanted to remind everyone that you can keep in contact with our office via our newsletter. You could sign up online at ofa.nv.gov, and I'll go ahead and drop that link into the chat for everybody. We want to encourage everyone to keep up to date with our team, so find some really great grant opportunities and some upcoming news, some new projects that we might have in the pipeline. I also wanted to remind everyone that you can share and notice a funding opportunity from your organization with us so that you can leverage our network through our website. So I'll go ahead and drop that link as well for you in the chat. As always, just a reminder that we are here for you to support your teams and are available to answer any questions and to provide support. So always an open email and an open door. So nice to see everyone.
Thank you so much, Mayita. We appreciate you sharing. We'll go ahead and continue on with the next person. I have Stephen Romero. Go ahead, Stephen.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for sharing your resources in upcoming events and as well as networks. I really appreciate that. I wanted to share that Leaders in Training is having their second annual homecoming event. So it's similar to a gala on April 28th. I can drop the flyer and information in the chat below. But it's to honor our recent post-secondary leaders and just commemorate them. We are also going to have some of our high school members from every cohort there. So you get to see some of our freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors speak about the program as well as share some of their experiences. And so it's going to be a fun packed night. It's going to be downtown Las Vegas on the Place on Carlson, as I believe.
Thank you so much, Stephen. And just a friendly reminder to everybody, please send over any resources or programs to mpc@uwsn.org. Thank you so much. And we'll go ahead and move on to Lourdes. Lourdes.
Hi, thank you, Jasmine. My name is Lourdes Orestano, and I'm the Consul for Community Affairs at the Consulate of Mexico in Las Vegas. And I wanted to share, I'll put our flyer in the chat box so anyone can see it. We're having on April 20th, a special event called Mariachi for Scholarships. So it's between the Consulate of Mexico and the Immigrant Home Foundation to support a program that's called IME Becas Scholarship Program. And the event will be at CSN at the Horn Theater. And like I mentioned, it's fundraising for scholarships. The IME Becas program focuses mainly on helping those who aren't eligible for other types of scholarships. So a lot of undocumented people, immigrants, first generation college students, but it's not closed, like anyone can apply to the program. So right now we're at this fundraising stage. So I would invite you all to share with your organizations a flyer if you want, and like mariachi, please join us. And an important thing to note is that 100% of the cost of the ticket will go to the scholarships. So all mariachi performers, and we're gonna have also folkloric ballet dancers, they're all donating the performance. CSN is helping us with the theater and spaces. So yes, please join us. I'll add the flyer to the chat box. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lourdes, for sharing, and thank you for joining as well. We'll go ahead and move on to Kim Small.
Thank you. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I would like to invite everyone to support Signs of Hope's first 5K in honor of Sexual Assault Awareness Month, excuse me. I'll put the flyer in the chat. It will be here at the Signs of Hope facility off of Rancho in Charleston. It is going to be held April the 22nd in the morning at 9 o'clock. And we would all love your support. If you want to walk, if you want to become a vendor, we'd love to have you join us for our first annual 5K. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kim. Thank you for joining us as well. We'll go ahead and move on to Paul Thornton with Nevada 211.
Thank you, Jasmine. I appreciate that. I'd like to invite everyone that if you're available next Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m., along with our partners from United Way of Southern Nevada. Without them, they couldn't make it happen. We couldn't make this happen. And also our partners of United Way of Northern Nevada and the Sierras. We have our annual or our quarterly, Ambassadors Alliance group that started about 4 years ago, and it was created to help bridge the gap between Northern Nevada, Southern Nevada, and the rural areas. I am now the Southern Nevada Rural Area Community Outreach Specialist, and today on the call with us too is our Northern Nevada Rural Outreach Community Outreach Specialist too. And we have now, since the pandemic's over, we have in-person and a Zoom capabilities too. If you can't attend it in person, then attend a Zoom call. It's a great meeting. If you're interested and want to get together, get to know people out in the rural areas or counterparts in the northern areas, because it doesn't matter where we are, we're all dealing with the same issues. And we have two great presentations done, one by this time, one by the Neighborhood Clinic in Southern Nevada, and also another one done by the Rich House up in Northern Nevada. And also when they do the presentations, we also honor our agencies in Northern and Southern Nevada each month. If you contact me, we can honor you. And those, it goes out around 14,000 emails. And plus we also post it on our social media and pages and pages too, so that if you're interested in getting more exposure for your business, if you want to get to know your neighbors out in the rural areas in Northern Nevada, please contact me. I'd love, I could send you the invitation for that. It's a great 1 hour meeting. I run it and manage it just like this just great, like Jasmine does here on United Way. We have a great time, great fun and education. We all learn. Our presenters, both our presenters will be there in person this next week. So I'm excited about that. We all get educated and learn things. So please reach out to me if you're new to the United Way. If you don't belong to Nevada 211, please reach out to us. I'll be happy to help you get on board, and Rena will up north. Also, I don't know if Annie Walters, she should still be here. She had something very important that she wanted to discuss too. But thank you, Jasmine.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
Paul.
Paul.
Oh, go ahead, Annie.
Oh, thank you so much. So I just had an email that came through my desk, and it's fairly important. To the best of my knowledge, this is with Sunrise Hospital, where minor kids, if they are going through end-stage renal disease or getting dialysis treatment, probably on a 3-week basis, but the only center that we have in the entire state of Nevada, I believe they're actually closing their doors to children. So now these kids have nowhere to go but to hospitals at this point in time. And again, I don't know the full details, but that's what's been told to me. I'm tapping into resources right now to ask you guys, do you know of any facilities that are willing to accept children? Because within the next few weeks, these children are not going to have anywhere to go except for their hospital. And it's a little bit cumbersome because they have to be checked into the hospital and then discharged as well. It's not an outpatient visit for them. And I'm not sure parents are even capable of doing that with the limited resources that they have at this point in time. So I'm going to go ahead and throw my information on here again, just so that it would be in the forefront, that in case you can provide any assistance or any information, please let me know and I'll continue to do more research on my end. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Annie, for sharing that. And it looks like we do have a question in the chat. Can you please repeat that announcement? Annie, do you mind repeating it one more time for everybody to hear?
Absolutely. So again, we're having trouble finding a facility who's accepting children for dialysis treatment. So we're hoping that if you have any inclination or any information about facilities that will accept aside from hospitals, we would like to be able to get that connection or somehow get that information so we can continue on and provide the services for the children that are in need.
Thank you so much, Annie. We appreciate that. And if anybody has any ideas or may know of the answer, please feel free to reach back out to Annie Walters. Annie, do you want to leave your email in the comment box? And we'll ensure to share it. Thank you so much. And
Jasmine, I'm going to just speak up a little bit. So there are outpatient dialysis centers for all ages, but what needs to be looked up is the pay source for the family, if they're on Medicaid or a type of insurance that the dialysis centers that are outpatient would be able to accept. But I would suggest starting there is finding out. And then some of the kidney specialists that service children might also have resources that they could cut through the red tape. But there are outpatient dialysis centers for access. Pretty much depends on how they are staffed and the pay source. Thank you.
thank you, Dolores. I think the floor is back to you.
Okay, are we ready to wrap it up? I see many people on the call. Is there anyone else that would like to share any thoughts that we haven't collected yet? And again, we really appreciate your time. We really appreciate weaving this fabric together and being able to push out as much information as possible. And so I'm going to open it up. Is there any hands? Dawn, was that a hand? Okay. Anybody else that we will give you 10 minutes back, which always helps. But this is a wonderful time. It tells us that the state does have mechanisms for working together. We get in our own little corner, and we also, it's our responsibility to know when public and private funding together can have the greatest impact in changing lives. And so that's also where we're trying to help funders know what work is being covered, where there are gaps, and what isn't covered is important so that we have a full 360 whole wellness type of approach to people that will make us have a healthy community in a state. So I will wait up. I thought we would have a real rush for time. We have a few minutes. Just so wanted everyone to have their chance to share and to know that they're appreciated. So without any more hands, we're going to say thank you. 1, 2, 3. Have a wonderful day. Keep healthy, keep joyful, and we will see you next month. Oh, Erin, did you just raise your hand?
I think it was a clap.
Okay. All
Thank you,
right.
everybody.
Thank you. Have a wonderful